do now is just show you how we're going to use that stage 1 and clean the tank up, and then we can show you the repairs that we're going to do. Okay, what we've done is we've only mixed half the solution, so if we're not 100% happy with the cleanliness of the inside of the tank, we do have another half there, so we can give it another belt. We've got the product in, we'll give it a good swish around. We can actually hear this loosening up lots of the little particles of the loose scale. Hear the amount of stuff that's peeling off.
Yeah, you can. Heaps.
Okay, that should be enough for an initial twist up. We'll leave that now for about 5 minutes, and we'll give it another roll and probably do that 3 more times over the next 20 minutes, and that should give us a good indication of how good a condition she is. Okay, another 5 minutes, and we'll pour the residue out into the bucket, and we'll see how much of the fuel tank we've got left. Okay, we've actually left the tank for about 20-25 minutes now, and in the meantime we've turned and sloshed it around about 4 or 5 times. So we'll pour this out and see what we get out of him. Just grab that side, mate, and we'll try and get most of it out of this one. I have to get right up. So. See how thick the residue is on the bottom there? A lot of mud, and I'd guess there'd be if we were to strain that, there'd be a lot of little bits of metal flake. Yeah, just get 5 litres in there, and then we'll give it a roll and rinse again. All right, up this time. Up we go. All right, good enough to weld. What we've done is we've got the majority of the product out, as you can see. I can still see there's a fair bit of residue and crap in the tank still, but we've found enough, got it clean enough now that we can do our initial solder repairs. And once we're happy with that, we're going to use the other half of the cleaning product to give it that final rinse and clean before stage 3. So we'll take it over to the clamp now and see if we can't get Noel the magician to fix the holes up for us. Beautiful. This one. I don't know if you can see that there, but you can see actually a couple of nice little splits where it's actually been, looks like it's been rubbing on something externally. Someone's given it a hammer in and just caked over it. That's nothing too drastic. Over this side, it's had quite a nice little dent up in here. That's usually quite straight and just flared there ready for the pickup. And at some point, it's just cracked around the solder joint of the pickup. So now what we'll do is we'll actually get your silver solder that, Noel, or you want to bronze it? Noel will probably put some bronze through these 2 little splits through there, and the same through here. We'll bronze all the cracks and the splits in this area, and then just to make sure that we're happy with it, we'll give the whole area that we've repaired over a tin up with soft solder and flux, and that gives it the final coating, and actually fills up any little porous holes that you get through bronze and silver solder, and fills them up. So it's a lot better way to go. So we'll do that now. See if you can't, when you're happy with that, tin all that area, and those 2 little dents in there. Looks like that one there's, and then tin that area, and then I'll hold it up and we'll do the sender. Okay, what Noel's doing at the moment now is using his flux, which a lot of people sort of know as your old style baker's fluid, and your soft solder. As I said, that's giving the bronzed area and anywhere else in it, we're not sure that there's any imperfections or imperforations. Gives that a nice coating, and that soft solder is easy to use, so it fills the holes. As you can see now, he's applying a bit of heat. The flux helps clean that area before you start to apply the solder. When you're doing something like this, you need to be in a well-ventilated area. In a radiator shop, we're set up quite well for that. We've got quite big extraction fans that take away the fumes as you're doing it. And as you can see there, once the area is nice and clean, it actually tins up quite easily. If this tank was really old and we wanted to make sure 200% and we thought it was got imperforations or external rust, we could actually tin the whole outside of this tank. It would take quite a bit of time, and in this sort of aged tank, we don't need to do that, so we'll just do the areas that are in need of repair. Usually when we do fuel tank repairs, if we're not using the kit that Murray showed earlier, we would actually use dry ice to defume this tank and make it safe to work on. Whereas luckily the cleaner part of this kit has already defumed the tank for us and makes it quite easy. As you can see there, we're at a stage where all of those welds now have been covered over with the soft solder, all through that area and around there, and around here. I'll just stand the tank up on its end now, and I was just going to tin and re-sweat that one pickup line back in, and then we'll flip the tank over, because while we've got it here, we might as well quickly resolder the breather inlet and the filler inlet, just to make sure while we've got it out the car, and then we know we're 100%. So yeah, there's actually no problems in that area there. You can see when Noel's heated and scraped that solder out, it was very clean and tidy, which is the main thing with solder work. As long as it's clean, it'll be strong. So rather than brush out the whole side of that connection, he'll do half at a time, so we don't modify the angle. Nothing worse than going to put it back in the car and finding it's a little bit out. We use the flux brushes for two purposes. Initially was the cleaning side of things, but then secondary, as he's applied the solder, just to make the job a little bit quicker, he'll actually use it as a cooling device. Beautiful. I don't know if you can quite see it on the film, but the main strength and the main seal in this repair is under that nut where the little collar enters the tank. That's Noel's main concern, is to make sure that initial sweat is strong. That's where the seal is, and the extra solder is just putting on the edge there to build it up to the nut, is just for a little bit of strength. You happy? Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can see the initial repair along that line. He's done his bronze, he's tinned over that, fixed a couple of dents and little splits and bronzed over that area, and he's tinned and cleaned and sweated the solder in, and then given that, because it's quite a large nut, it's only it's the pickup, so we don't want to have the bottom of the tank crack there. Every fitting in and out of the tank's been soldered, so now we're ready for a pressure test.
This side's right.
Is it? Just do the back end. Oh yeah.